Welcome back. I am so excited to bring episode 2 of my Planet Zoo Let's Play back. We still only have the one park. Royal Willows Park is what I've called our first zoo. It is a temperate European zoo, and of course right now we just have the one animal species in there. Anyone who would like to name any animals or even any staff at the zoo, feel free to comment down below, give me some name suggestions for some of our beautiful flamingos. This of course is just episode 2. I'm sorry uploads have been a little bit slow at the minute. I will do my best to try and keep things nice and quick in uploading in the future. Obviously with the build up to Christmas I have been struggling a little bit trying to get other things done, but here we are. We have our beautiful flamingos. I think we even had some mating last time. We have 5 flamingos right now and I love these guys. I really do. They're just so beautiful. Look at them. We put in some heaters to make sure that they were doing okay habitat wise. We have no enrichment yet, although I have put one of the vets on research for the flamingos, so we should be able to increase what they get from that. Since we were last here, I have put down a couple of things, some info boards here at the entrance, just to try and spread a little bit of education, and I've also put up this wall, this kind of faux wall, and a little bit of greenery to hide away our unsightly park infrastructure buildings. It's not amazing, it's not finished yet, but it just makes the park look a little bit better so that people aren't complaining as much. Now, Inspector arriving in 1 month. I actually want to pause this for a second and check out what's happening in here. These are challenges. We're not ready for any of those yet. But for today's episode, I would really like to build a second exhibit. We have this one here, quite a large exhibit. I think I want to build one of the smaller ones. I was thinking potentially up here, but then that's going to lead to me needing to block out a lot of this space as well. So I might actually just create a small one coming off this way. A small exhibit for maybe some little animals, and I would love to get something with a high attraction in here, but I don't think for such a small plot that's going to be possible. So for right now, I do believe that we might need to think small and build like this. So we'll come across, I mean that's 8 meters, 16 meters, so we're already quite large, really. We'll decrease our size on this one a bit because we don't want to go crazy with it. Again, like I said last time guys, I won't be showing you every single time that we build an enclosure, but I think at the beginning it's not the worst thing to see how some of these go together and get created, so I will just showcase a little bit of this one here. We'll go back to straight and do some nice big panels to get us back here. Why won't you let me do that? That's really unfortunate. What's wrong? Okay, so it doesn't like that. I don't like this delete tool either. Oh dear lord. Undo please. That's not at all what I want to do. Edit the barrier. We'll make them smaller I guess. 7 meters. There we go, now it lets me. So I'm going to need a habitat gate, and this isn't, we don't actually have a setup for our zookeepers to really come across here. So what I think I'll do is put it over this side. Now how big is this habitat? I don't think it's huge. 912 square meters. So I'm going to have a little look in the animal trading hub and see what I can pick up. While I'm there, I might just pick up 1 or 2 new flamingos as well. I'll catch you guys in just a minute. And welcome back. This time not taking nearly as long for us to find an animal that I think will suit our needs, and it is the bird's tapir. Only females right now, but there's quite a high appeal and they don't take up a huge amount of space. So let's see. That's not a bad female there. That's even better, immunity and longevity. So we're going to adopt this female and we're going to have to be on the lookout for a male. I did also pick up 3 new flamingos. So we are going to send everything into quarantine, make sure that nothing has any illnesses or diseases that we're going to bring into the zoo, because that is never what you want, especially if we haven't researched anything. So I'm going to send all of these into the quarantine. I'll have to play this. And the next thing I want to do is just check on our research, if I can remember how to do that. Vet research here. Awesome. So we've got level 2 on the greater flamingos now, which is really good. We're finding out a few more things. Toy enrichment, food level 2 unlocked. There's loads of stuff that I can try to use to make the flamingos kind of have a better time of things, right? So for now, I'm going to filter by species and find greater flamingo. And I'm going to see what sort of enrichment we can give them. Right now it's just the one. It is the metal framed waterfall. So I'm going to find a place to put this. I think somewhere towards here. I might even try and just hide those feet a little bit under the ground, like that. So just the one piece of enrichment so far. But I do like what it's doing. I don't like this little hollow that it's caused, of course. That's not something I'd anticipated. But I also don't think that it's really going to bother. In fact, no, I really don't like it. So, something that might be a little bit challenging for me now is to flatten to surface some of this. And it won't do it because of that. So I'm going to smooth and just try and smooth some of this out. We have had an animal pass quarantine, which is excellent. I'm going to come in here and have a look. The first thing I'm going to do there we go. You are going to move in to your new home. And then these 3 are going to move into their new home. So hopefully we'll add a little bit more excitement to the zoo for the guests by bringing in a new animal. Now, of course, the bird's tapir are going to need, in at least some instances, a place where they can be viewed. So I am going to install some glass in the entry point, but of course I want there to be some shade for the animals. To my knowledge, the tapirs are not hugely fond of being on show. So although I will add some windows in, I'm going to try and give them an enclosed area at the back where they don't have to feel like they're on show, because for me, we have to make sure that we're doing well at hitting the animal needs, right? So I am going to pause this now and just check out what kind of stuff the bird's tapir needs. So far, it's not looking awful, but they need a little bit of swimming area before we do anything else. So that's what I'm going to do first, is add a swimming area, probably along here, along this flat area where we have this first fence, like that, the first set of windows, so people can view in to the swimming area. like so, and I'm going to put clean water in there and fill it up. If I now play this, I'm going to allow him to discover that. Boom. Loads of swimming area. So next up, it is just the painting. As always, it's full of long grass, and almost none of the animals love long grass like that. We also need some soil. Really got to try and work the long grass down because they don't like it. Apparently it's just everywhere. Some smooth rock in here. It's going a bit better. They wouldn't mind a touch of sand every now and again. So this is looking much nicer, although I do still want to remove more of this like long grass. They look like they prefer soil and mud and sand and things like that. There is no hard shelter right now, and as we are still pretty new in the game, I am unfortunately just going to buy another hard shelter that comes recommended. An 8x8, that seems huge. There's only 2 of them. There is only 2 of them. I will just sink that down just like this. And I'm going to try and position it so that it's just kind of up against this back wall. Like so. And then some bedding for them. Like so, which I think should make them pretty happy. You've got the hard shelter now. Their welfare's still not amazing. Plants and coverage is what we need, and there are some plants that they don't like. This one here, apparently overhanging, and they're not a fan. So I'll do this. Are there any plants in your habitat now that you don't like? No, there's not, but I am going to have to add some. So, South and Central America are what I'm looking for. Continent, South and Central America, awesome. And then grassland, tropical, temperate and aquatic. So let's start with these ones and see what we get. I'm gonna do my best to make this look nice, but not always the easiest thing to do when you're putting plants into a habitat. They can sometimes end up looking a bit false, a bit cluttered. It's not really what I love, but I do try to make things a little bit interesting. I do like a banana palm. I'm thinking that what they're going to want is to kind of shelter their sleeping area a little bit, right? So they don't always have to feel like they are on show. Where is it? Random rotation. Random rotation is a great option to pick if any of you are playing Planet Zoo, because it will rotate the plant that you've just placed around in order to not make it look like a cut and paste copy of the last one you just put down, which I think can end up being a godsend to you. Okay, what we got here? Got a mangrove. I do like the mangrove. It would definitely be growing out of the water. See, one thing is they like a lot of coverage, the tapirs. Lots of plants, kind of all over the place. Coconut palm back in this corner as well. Apple tree maybe over here. I am going to try and put a lot of vegetation in because I want happy animals. The issue is that sometimes it can end up not looking all that good. I'm going to admit, sometimes you put some stuff in and it just doesn't look nice. It looks kind of cluttered and wonky, and at the end of the day, what you're looking for is to try and make things look natural, right? And sometimes that's not the effect that you get. I'm going to attempt to put some vines on here, right? Most of them don't want to align very nicely, but just a few of these to try and make it potentially look something like natural vine bedding. I think the random rotation has come back to hurt me there. This is pretty. I like this. You're big, aren't you? I don't think you're going to fit in there. Whoa! Some of these are really good, but they're just way too big for me to kind of think about putting them in. Putting them into an enclosure like this. Oh, I mean, that's nice. A big tall tree there. Doesn't actually take up that much in terms of... I don't want to come off of that. Doesn't actually add that much in terms of kind of, you can still see everything inside there, so I like that about it. The coverage has met the satisfaction. It is more a case of whether or not I think we're doing well enough. And actually, I think our tropical leaves is a good one. I like that. Get some tropical leaves just around patches on the floor. I think the one thing that really we're missing is some kind of small shrubbery, not the big trees. I don't really like that either. Just some of the smaller plants. These are more trees. I guess put a couple of you in. Hydrangea bush, not my favourite. We might be getting close to it now. I apologise to anyone who this is not kind of their idea of a fun episode. But to me, it's nice to craft these spaces. I will in future probably put these into a time lapse so that it's a little more interesting for you guys. But I think that's going to do it in terms of crafting the habitat. If I can find my tapir, there they are, and play this now, they are very happy. Everything apart from enrichment. The terrain looks good. The environment looks good. One thing I will check is just to see. I'll have to put some bins down in a minute. But one, I need to buy another bird's tapir really badly. A male. Here is a male. He's not got good stats. Not really at all. So that is an issue. I think I'll come back in a minute looking for more. I'm going to chuck a couple of bins down now. Facilities. Favourites? Oh, they are on favourites. Don't you love it when you've done something to make your life easier? We'll get some donation boxes down for the tapirs. Like so. Maybe even another one on this end. Lots of people stop in here to see the tapirs, so I will. And then I'm going to put some habitat boards down. Because as always, this is one of the most important parts of your zoo, is making sure that you are educating people on what it is that they're seeing. And from my knowledge, I've been to zoos, and you get a plaque or two, maybe there'll be someone there to ask a question. That's about all they do. And then this game decides that no, you have to be educating them like in order to take a university degree, which is fine, but it can become quite tedious, as anyone who's played this game will know, to try and get your education level high up on the ratings. Yeah, see here now I don't actually like where I've put this bin. I'm going to move this and put it here, and I'm going to put an education sign in there just to make sure that we're doing our bit. We will also need some speakers, and they can come later. I haven't been smart enough. 2 favourites then on my info tab, but for now I can put all of these and set them to beds tapir and just try and do what we can while we await a male to create a breeding pair here. Of course, these, you can see the info panels talking about climate change, deforestation, the cycle of bees, stuff like that, which I think is a really nice addition. I think it's something that if I go to a zoo, I do see a lot of posters and plaques like this, and I will scatter more throughout the park. I just thought on the entryway we haven't got a lot else happening, so I put some of those in. Here we go. There's a few lads now. There's a small one, but everything else is pretty good. You don't have good longevity. You don't look good in general. You don't look awful. I think he's the one. And this is our male Baird's tapir, who's going to come in to the zoo and work as our breeding pair. We do now have more flamingos. Of course, one of the issues flamingos were having was that their social group was still a little bit low. Adult population, yeah, it's still a touch low, but we can hopefully bring that up. We have food here, and I'm going to call a keeper because that's not really good enough. Barrier status is also not great, so I'm going to need to hire a mechanic, something that I had actually forgotten about. Keeper heart, how do I change the food that I'm giving them? As I said, guys, here it is. I've not changed this around a great deal. I am going to switch to grade 2 food because I think that will benefit them. And so here we have it. That is our second animal in the park, the Baird's tapir. I actually really like how this has come out, especially the plants and the water. I think this enclosure is actually really quite nice. There's the tapir over here, just exploring in the corner. What a beautiful animal, look. Oh, it's pooed. Look at that. Such a great new addition to the zoo, and of course a male tapir on the way to be a breeding partner with this one. We are going to need to do some research and hopefully find out if we can increase our knowledge on the tapirs and of course on the greater flamingos a little bit more. I love this waterfall that I've got them, but one piece of enrichment is not going to do long term. So as I've said, guys, get some name suggestions down below in the comments and let me know what we should call some of these animals. I mean, the view from up here is pretty good. When eventually the zoo is bigger and people are having to travel over this land bridge and this rise canopy, the view is pretty good of the flamingos from up here. I wouldn't be annoyed to come up here and have a look. You don't get the shelter in it, but right now it's looking lovely. Okay, that research has been completed. That is level 3 on the flamingos now, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch my vet onto Baird's tapir research. So I will probably do a little bit of just neatening up. I'll put those speakers down off camera, but from me, that's it, everybody. I'd love to hear from you. If you're enjoying this series, then feel free to drop a like on the video. But until next time, I'll catch you later.